Richter and I'm obsessed with surfboards.
I'm like so obsessed with surfboards.
Today I'm here at Surf Ride in Solana Beach where I work. So after this video, if you have any questions, feel free to come in and bug me about it. Getting right into it, what are we talking about today? We are talking about the Cymatic. This is the newest board in the Slater Designs lineup and it is going to be a good one. There are two main things that I really like about this board, and the first is that for being a short railed and a short outline board, it goes really good on rail. I really felt, especially on my backside, that I was able to put a lot of weight on the tail and just really give it a run for its money when I put it on its rail, and I didn't feel like it was going to skate out. And I would compare the sensation that putting it hard on its rail felt to what riding one of my 5'11 or 6'0 shortboards would feel like. The 5'5", which is what this one is and the size that I rode, felt just as good, if not better, than one of my 5'11 or more traditional shortboards. The second thing is that it's really stable through turns, and it, especially in more critical sections, so surfing more top to bottom, a little bit tighter in the pocket, and at the same time through kind of whitewash sessions when you're doing laybacks. For example, I had a wave on this and I did a layback, and as I went through the turn and kind of went through the motions, the whole time my feet felt glued to this board, which is actually a really cool feeling, and it's something that I've never really felt on most boards before. And so basically I think that just has to do with the outline plus the bat tail, which I'll get into and explain in a minute, plus the LFT construction. Moving on, all their team riders are really fired up on it. I mean, this is the board that Kelly has said in a few of his Instagram posts that he is the only thing he's riding and he doesn't want to ride anything else. And Timmy Reyes said that he's never felt like he's been able to put a board on rail as hard as he can with this one, for being, again, a short outline, which is a statement that I can fully agree with. So the most common questions I get, and I've gotten so far on this board, is what is it? Well, we look at it and we see, okay, it's a combination of the Sci-Fi tail with the Omni nose, and yes it is, but there's a little more to it than that. We look at the tail and we see that it's got that inverted bat tail that we recognize on the Sci-Fi, but it's a little bit more thinned out and it's got more tail rocker than the Sci-Fi. So what that's going to do is it's going to put more lift under your back foot, and on top of that it's also going to create help you with generating speed and create more of a pivot point coming off your back foot. At the same time, it's got a little bit more rocker just from the nose to the tail than what we see on the Sci-Fi, and what that's going to do for us is going to allow us to take off a little bit deeper and even surf this thing in bigger conditions than we may even realize. And so moving from the tail to the nose, we see that we have a very Omni-esque nose outline to it. But when you actually put them together and compare them, the Omni actually has a wider nose, and the Cymatic has a narrower nose, and it has a bit more rocker, like I said. So what that means is that you're gonna, by having a narrower nose and that rounded nose like we see on the Omni, it eliminates the pointier nose like we see on the Sci-Fi. And so what that's gonna do is it's gonna kind of eliminate that swing weight and really help you feel like you can put the board wherever you want to on the wave. So let's just talk about the technology within the board really quick. If you're not familiar with it, this board is made with the LFT construction, and in my opinion that's my personal favorite construction, because you get all the benefits that EPS gives you without losing anything that poly gives you. Now what I mean by that is essentially by having the full EPS foam core, you get all that liveliness and pop from the board, but at the same time you don't lose any of that kind of chatter dampening effect that you will feel on poly. So in my experience and with other people's experience who I've talked to who ride other full EPS boards with no high density foam stringer, they tend to feel a chattery sensation because of that. So I'm sure you're asking yourself now, where does this fit in your quiver? Like, why do you want this board? Well, if you're the kind of guy who just wants to get that one board that you want to surf and everything, and you have a step up and you have something else that you want to surf when it gets a little bit bigger, this is probably the board for you. It's a 5-fin option, so you can set it up as a quad or a thruster. My personal experience on it, I've been riding it as a quad with the Futures F4 template, and that complements really nicely with the tail. And I think it's because it's got all these endpoints. So it's a smaller fin. The F4 is a size small for the quad set. And I think with the channel bottom, plus all the endpoints that we have from the bat tail, it really helps the board knife in and claw into the wave. But at the same time, because of the channels that we see on the bottom of this board, it accentuates the ability to come off the bottom hard and really put the board on rail as hard as you want. But when you want the board to release, you can when you want the tail to release, I should say, it feels really predictable, and you really feel like you can put the board again wherever you want on the wave. So if you come in the shop and you have this board and the Sci-Fi and the Omni laying on the ground and you're staring at it while I'm asking you what you want, you may want to consider these few things. So first, if you're looking at the Sci-Fi is still best for high-speed turns, putting the board on rail, similar to what we see in Stu Kennedy surfing. The Cymatic, on the other hand, is best for fast and radical surfing in a wider range of conditions. And the Omni is good for waves from 3 to 6 feet and above. But the Omni, because it has that really pulled-in tail, is going to like a cuppier wave, or a wave that's going to be a little bit more top to bottom and barreling. The Cymatic is really all about quick whips and just really surfing the board as hard as you want because it's so small, and I think that's why you really have that sensation of being able to put the board wherever you want on the wave. So hopefully that is able to answer a few of your questions. If you have any more questions, that's it for now. I'm here most days. Come in and bug me.